So I have a shell that resembles a foot. It's made of rubber, but then inside it's a bunch of carbon fiber blades that actually absorb impact. So if you actually look, there's some shock absorption in there. Obviously it doesn't bend like a normal foot does, but it's the next best thing.
No Filter Show with Paul and Grady, and today we have a very special guest,
Travis Wood. This guy is a true war hero.
I was in the United States Army for a little over 12 years. I was on a recovery mission down in southern Afghanistan, recovering a vehicle for the Canadian Army, and my vehicle got tagged and targeted, and I was, fifth vehicle in the convoy of 7, and I got hit with a big giant IED. It was,
wow.
3 anti-tank mines, and they were triple stacked, and it just obliterated the vehicle I was in.
Do you remember it?
Remember everything until I was in the helicopter. So I remember everything. You know, it's been a long ride. I wound up getting injured pretty bad. My spinal cord was broken in 6 different places. Broke 3 ribs. One of them actually went through my right lung. I lost about 1.5 feet from my small intestine, 8 inches of my large intestine. Had to have one of those colostomy bags for 1.5 years, which I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
I will never complain again.
Yeah, I literally would not wish that on anybody. So my pelvis was completely crushed, and the blades of your pelvis, your crest, they folded in. So I was initially diagnosed as being paralyzed. The Army trains you. I mean, it's react, respond, react, respond. Right. First thing I did, okay, I know I got hit by a bomb. Where's my rifle?
Did you say the F word?
Not at that point. Not at that point, because I didn't feel any pain yet.
Right.
Reached for my rifle, but my door was blown off, and that's where my rifle was. So then I reached for my pistol, which I keep here, and I poked myself, and I looked down, and my pistol was gone, my grenades were gone, everything was just off. And so I was like, okay, I got to get out. So then I flipped my harness and I fell to the ground, and that's when the pain set in, and then I knew something was wrong.
Wow.
But it was just at that point that it was a 2-man vehicle I was in. The guy comes around the vehicle and he's got blood coming down his face, and he's like, dude, I can't see anything. Are you okay? I said, no, something's wrong. I can't move. So he reaches under me and starts pulling me, and I couldn't help myself. I started screaming, cussing, crying, you name it. Just felt like he was pulling my body in half. And as my feet hit the ground, he stopped. And he stopped, and I apologized. I said, let's get away from the vehicle. I was trying to catch my breath, but he stopped because my legs were on fire, and I didn't even know. That's how bad the pain was in my back.
God.
Cut all the clothes off of me. Honestly, the first thing I asked is to make sure, you know, the important pieces are there.
Your man parts.
Yeah, you know,
the twig and berry.
Yeah, the important, you know, the important bits. Everything was fine in that department. Virtually the only part that was fine.
Tell us about the road to recovery. I mean, just as long and hard as a human can endure.
I can tell you it's still ongoing. Every day when I first got out of bed and put my prosthetic on, I look like a baby giraffe that just came out of her mom, where I'm just kind of learning how to walk. I actually have pain. Every time I take a step, it hurts, but I don't take medicine. I recover through fitness. I spent 2.5 years in the hospital, and I actually had 84 surgeries.
Oh my God.
The nice thing is people see the prosthetic and maybe the shrapnel scars on the back of my head, but I look like a legitimate Picasso.
They don't realize.
Right. Well, we saw you walking up. You move good, and you look. You know.
I do okay.
Yeah, you do.
I do okay, but I have to work really hard at it.
All Jeeps are not created equal. As we can see, this thing's a pretty bad boy.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that all prosthetics are not created equal.
No, not at all.
Tell us a little bit about this.
Yeah, what is that
So
thing?
this is called a total knee. Okay, and
wow.
Carbon fiber?
Yeah, this is the socket where my residual limb goes into, and then this is called the total knee, and then that's actually from here down is considered the foot. So right now what you're looking at from here down is anywhere from $25,000 to $35,000, and that's a cheap leg. This is what they call as close to a mechanical leg as possible, where you do all the work yourself. I love this leg because it's all mechanical. Me teaching, you know, high school auto shop, my students, I'm out there, I'm on my knees a lot. I need a leg that can handle it. I teach at Snow Canyon High School.
Oh, cool.
What do you teach?
Auto shop.
Auto shop.
Yeah. I teach auto shop. I live in Cedar City. One of the things is I asked my wife, because I drug her around for the military for a long time, and I asked her, where did you want to set up roots? And she wanted to settle down where we first met. And so we live in Cedar.
SUU?
Yep. Believe it or not, we were actually music majors when we met.
No way.
I could never run again or even do an elliptical. So I started.
So you can't ever run again, but in the same breath, you're running in the Sand Hollow Marathon this Saturday.
About that.
I run with my arms now. People like me and people that are paralyzed have 2 options. They can go in a push rim racing wheelchair, or they can ride what they call a hand cycle.
I've seen those. They're cool.
Yeah. People like me with multiple injuries, I cannot physically get into the push rim chair because it causes severe pain. So I race in a separate category called the hand cycle category. Just as hard. It has gears, so that's why they're separated in the category.
Well, look at those guns. Is that from working that little thing?
For almost 3 years, I didn't have anything but my arm. I average anywhere from 56 minutes to an hour and 20 minutes for a marathon.
Cool.
So it's fast. And a lot of times what I have found is that when people watch that, they see that if somebody can overcome various different obstacles, then their own obstacles, they can overcome them as well.
Great.
I feel okay. My triceps are done, but I feel all right. Yeah. So, I mean, aside from that, I'm good.
So Dennis Nash over at Lion X wanted you to have this shirt.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
And our wardrobes today were furnished by
Origin Clothing Company.
Nice.
Kevin House, cool guy. Thanks, Kevin. He wanted you to have this shirt as well.
Cloud9 wants to help you with your New Year's resolution. Let us set you up with a brand new starter kit that fits your budget. Ditch your butts and come explore a better alternative.
A lot of times when you're in the military and you're waiting for action to happen or waiting to get called on a mission, you're in Afghanistan, what sort of shenanigans did you guys do to stay sane?
When I wasn't on missions, we went out quite a bit, actually. It was very rare when we weren't. But when we were back on the main base, or what we call FOBs, we had a huge mouse problem with our food storage that we got. So we got really good at using the metal darts and throwing them and killing the mice with them. And when we caught them, we would pin them on our commander's door with a note saying "Good morning," you know, Lieutenant, and have it on there.
It's like a cat.
Yeah, little things like that.
Were there any regrets that you had while you were over there? Maybe something you didn't do or did do, or anything that sometimes that's hard to talk about. Everybody has regrets in life. I have plenty.
Yeah, no, I understand. As far as regrets go, my only real regret is missing as much time as I did with my wife and kids. So I was gone for a long time, and then I was essentially gone because I was recovering in a hospital in a drone for 3 years, and so I missed a lot. I missed a lot of my first daughter's steps, walking, the first time she broke her arm. That's really what I regret.
Well, there's lots of soldiers, I think, that sacrifice for the good of the country, and they sacrifice their family and their wives, and they're the ones that pay the price. But all of us, as a country, get to reap the rewards of a hero like yourself.
Well, and it's a life that I've always wanted.
Right.
And if I wasn't injured, I would still be in.